What's up guys, haven't done one of these in a while. We're going to do a big old tire comparison, give you weights, heights, tread depth, all that good stuff. Let me switch the camera around. The thing's taken apart and got tires pulled off them, so we got 5 tires to compare today. The new tire obviously is the new Aztex XX. We've got a 32 Aztec, we've got a 30 Aztec on the Terache beadlock, we've got a 31 Outlaw 3, and back there we got a 30 XPS Swamp King XL. We're going to stick to these 5. We do weights, heights, widths, tread depth, and I think that's about it. And we'll put it all on a spreadsheet for you. So now we got it on the Terache beadlock, which is about 14 pounds. Let's see what we get as a combo. Can we get it to balance? All right. So we're at 56.3. That's 50.6 pounds tires and wheel for the 30-inch Aztec on the 14-inch beadlock. 58. Actually, right at 59 pounds. 56.5 pounds. 70 pounds dead. Exactly 70 pounds. So by far the heaviest setup here. It's on a 16-inch wheel, so that adds a little bit of weight, but that's a very heavy tire and wheel combo. Wow, not bad. 29.75, 31.25 inches tall at 5 psi. This is probably the softest tire I've ever seen, and it's advertised as a 30, but on the tape measure it's 29.25, so fairly true to height at 30.5 at 5 psi. So far the Aztec XL has been the most true to height. 30-inch Aztec XL, and at 5 psi, it measures 29 3/8. Hold the level across the 2 knobbies, and then I measure across this way to the other knobby. So for the width here at the top, we're right at 9 inches wide. Okay, and this sucker at the very top is 8 1/4 wide, so 8.25. For tread depth, I'm just going to measure in the center because obviously if you measure, a lot of companies say, oh, we have 3 inches of tread. Yeah, if you measure from here to down here. We're just going to do center tread depth. That's all that is really relevant. At the center of the Aztec XX, looking at exactly 2.5 inches of tread. The knobby's really curved at the bottom. You need a different tool. Okay, so it's just, oh wow, this isn't as much tread as I thought. It's under 1.5 inches. It's 1 7/16. And this one is a little over 1.5 inches. It's slightly worn down, but I'm going to say 1 9/16. Let's just go ahead and check the other 2 with the same gauge so we're being consistent. All right, now we're going to talk about tread width. So we're just going to do the width at the center, at the widest part. So 30-inch Aztec XX is 1.07. 31-inch Outlaw 3, 1.38, pretty wide because it's so aggressive. We're at 1.09, 1.1 inches wide. Let's break our durometer here. This will tell us the rubber hardness. Now obviously again, some of these tires are newer than others, so that's a variable, right? But doing the best I can. I can't always have new tires to measure. 69 HA. The Outlaw 3 is 74 HA. This is the XPS Swamp King, 64. That's a super soft tire. Aztec XX, and we're at 70. So I believe the Aztec XX and the XLs are all the same rubber compound. I think the hardness just changed a little bit based on how the mold processes and age. So they're all pretty much in the ballpark, with the hardest tire being the Outlaw 3 and the softest tire being the XPS. And if you just go and grab the knobbies and feel it, That feels about right. This tire, the Outlaw 3s are really hard. I hate them on an ATV. They ride like crap. The Aztecs are medium hardness. They still ride good, but they don't wear really fast. And this XPS is just way too soft. It wears incredibly fast, and I'm already cracking it in a lot of places. It's not a very good tire. See where the knobby's splitting right here? This did not take long to get this kind of abuse. This tire doesn't really have that many miles on it. It's got a giant split. The tread's rolling off in a lot of places. Definitely don't recommend picking up these used. If you see them used, I'd avoid them. Yeah, I'll just shut up and let you guys look at the tread so you can get a good comparison of each of these tires. Okay, that's probably the main difference here. The Outlaw 3 is wider, of course. The Aztec has slightly more tread spacing. But yeah, pretty interesting. All right, here's all the results in a spreadsheet as usual. These are the tires mounted at 5 psi. Obviously the wheels have different weights. I'm not accounting for that here because I'm not dismounting all these tires. We do know that the Aztec XX in a 30 is about 42 to 43 pounds unmounted. So keep that in mind. But anyway, if you look across here, you can see that the Aztec XX, despite having, you know, an inch more tread than all these other tires, falls kind of in the middle of the pack for weight. With the 31 Outlaw 3 being much heavier. So I do not recommend Outlaw 3s unless you're going to cut them. They are incredibly heavy. I think they were designed for big side-by-sides. Don't put them on a quad. They'll ride like crap. Another takeaway down here is that the 30-inch Aztec XX is the most true to height. It's a 1/4 of an inch short, whereas everything else is 1/2 inch short or bigger. And then, of course, tread depth. The Aztec XX has the most tread depth by far. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this information is helpful to you guys. Once I get the 32 and the 28 XX, I will add them to this spreadsheet. If there's any other tires you want me to add on here, just let me know in the comments below. Let me give you some background on the tread design of this XX. So when I started working with Terache, they just had this tread design. I helped with some sizing and some minor design stuff on the bigger sizes. This one I was involved in the whole process. So I met with the tire engineers and the tire designers, and this is what we came up with. We both had some drawings, we had some goals we wanted to accomplish, and we combined them together, and this is what we came out with. So a lot of people have pointed out that it looks like a lot of the other really deep lug tires like the Nader or the Juggernaut, whatever. At first glance, I know they look similar. Any small tire with this much tread is going to look similar. But we did a lot of stuff with this tire that's unique, that's going to help it outperform all of these kind of basic V-tread tires. The reason I say that is because most of these tires like this are copying an old school BKT. They might have more tread, they might have some design in the center, but they're still just a V-tread, right? And because of that, they just kind of shed mud and dig holes. The only Outlaw 3s I've ever been impressed with, or any kind of V-tread like that, you have to scoop them. You have to cut it out here, you have to lighten them up. And that's just an expensive, time-consuming process. If you just buy the right tire first, you don't have to do all that, right? So this tire, out of the box, I think it's going to perform great without having to cut it. So the way we did that was we listened to all you guys' feedback, and then we incorporated a lot of the things that we knew worked well from this tire. So the feedback we got was we want an extremely deep lug tire. We wanted to look cleaner and simpler. This tire is kind of busy, so we got rid of a lot of these little tread elements. And we wanted to keep it light. We wanted to fix the digging issue. So all of these V-treads dig really bad. I tried to fix that with this tire. So as you can see, it's not a basic V-tread. It's an angular tread design. It comes forward into a cup at the edge. So it grabs the mud, bites into it, compresses it here, builds traction, and then ejects it. It doesn't just eject it right away and dig a hole. Also, we kept it very flat on the front and then the taper on the rear. Well, that's where the support comes from. That's a takeaway straight from this tire, right? Taper on the rear, flat on the front. It gives you a lot of bite, helps you climb out of holes. It works great. We also keep the top of the tread very flat. This is at 5 psi and it's still a very flat tread section. And of course, it's nice and angular, which number one, looks great. And number two, it's direct carryover from our other tire. We know it works. Why would we change it? Now, what is different is that we had to add some siping here. That was not my idea. The tire engineer said it was 100% necessary. So when you make the tire this tall, you have to make it a little bit fatter to have durability on a high horsepower heavy Can-Am, for instance. And in order to get the same amount of bite, you have to make a siping in here, so you have two biting edges. These tires are very thin, and that's why they bite so good. We couldn't make a tread this tall that thin. That's all there is to it, so we added some siping. We kept it solid in the center where most of your weight rides to help with tread wear and keep it smooth on hardpack. But yeah, So that's just some background for you on kind of the stuff we were going for. And of course, the biggest thing is that this thing is lightweight. It's a lot taller than similar sized extreme lug tires, and it's several pounds lighter.